Halo fans, you can cheat time. Replaying classic games, and yes, Halo now counts, can be both a wonderful reminder and a disappointment. Most of the great stuff is still great, but some parts just don't hold up anymore. With the new updates to Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the Master Chief Collection, you get nostalgia with none of the side effects. 343 Studios left the timeless stuff alone. The feel of combat, the writing, the otherness of the gargantuan ring world. But if there's something you can see or hear, it probably looks or sounds better in the Master Chief Collection. 343 carefully handled a huge piece of gaming history that still plays terrifically in a post-aim-down sight world. The earliest levels of Halo were brilliantly deceptive. The Pillar of Autumn is under attack, and it feels like a corridor shooter with better shooting mechanics than most. You evacuate the ship, and it's all very fun. Time for level 2, called Halo. Halo is surreal. There's enough of both the foreign and the familiar to keep you on edge. You see grass and trees, and the scenery is beautiful. Admire the sights enough and you'll catch a glimpse of the impossible horizon. The world's surface curves skyward, so you follow it with your weapon's reticle. An unfamiliar hum steals your attention and you see something flying toward you. You don't know what it is, you do know that you need to run and hide. It's one of the most excellent, purposefully disorienting moments in games. I'll never have that exact moment again, but people playing Halo for the first time with the Master Chief Collection's improved look can. That signature Halo feel went mostly untouched. If anything, the frame rate bump up to 60 frames per second makes it a bit easier to line up headshots or take out flying enemies. Encounters still feel like miniature sandboxes with plenty of options. The sacred Halo trinity of guns, grenades, and melee attacks, all accessible with one button, worked in the early 2000s and it still works now. At any time in Halo or Halo 2's campaigns, you can hit a button and revert back to the original game's graphics. If you played the original, you'll be stunned at the way things used to be. If you haven't played the original, it becomes a portal to a stranger, blockier world you never knew, and don't need to know to enjoy the game. When we visited 343 for IGN First, the first things we saw were some of the brand new cutscenes Blur created. It's strange seeing scenes from 2004 outclass most modern cinematics, but that's what Blur does. All 4 campaigns have received some work, but Halo 2 is the marquee title here. It looks great, feels better than ever at 1080p and 60 FPS, and the iconic soundtrack was re-recorded. Swapping back and forth between the new and old versions doesn't just swap graphics, it also leaps between soundtracks. Halo 2 Anniversary's choir is louder and more punctual, complementing the orchestra at just the right beats. The sound design, such as gunfire and explosions, have also been completely redone. Individually, these are small changes that you may not notice. Together, these 5,000 plus sounds give even the most experienced Halo 2 veteran a reason to stop and take note. Halo 4 was the biggest surprise of the Master Chief Collection. As the newest game, it makes sense that it would look the best by default. Through some technical wizardry, the game looks like it was developed for the Xbox One all along. Even in 2012, Halo 4's environments and enemies looked more synthetic than they did in past Halo games. Everything glows and has a techno-organic look to it. The horsepower of the Xbox One takes Halo 4's fireworks show and pushes it over the top. Prometheans in particular look better than ever, and yes, their brutal AI is still fully intact. They'll dodge shots, teleport into your face, and lob grenades back at you. Halo 4 is not easy. Halo 3 is the oddball of the collection. Yeah, it looks better than it did in 2007, particularly the lighting. But compared to the other 3 games, the improvements aren't as noticeable. Grinding down Savo Highway on a brute chopper is still great, and the story, of course, is as well told as it ever was, but it looks like it hasn't been given the touches that the other games have. Master Chief Collection's multiplayer mode reads like a Halo fan's wishlist. Every map from Halo 1 through 4, including the obscure PC levels? Check. Halo 2's 1 through 50 ranked matchmaking system? Check. Smooth action at 1080p and 60 FPS? Check. Dedicated servers? Check. The only difficult part is switching between the different game sandboxes, where jumping, movement, and aiming can all feel different. We played tons of multiplayer, and it's as great as you'd expect. What's your favorite flavor of Blood Gulch? Feeling some CTF on Coag? Well then hop on over to the Halo 2 Anniversary maps and play the remastered Bloodline. Feeling some Team Deathmatch on Guardian? Halo 3 is just one menu away. 6 excellent Halo 2 maps got the Anniversary treatment. and they come with more than just graphical updates. For example, the new Ascension, known as Zenith, has an added pathway that makes one of the map's more deadly areas more usable. The spinning central structure can project a massive bubble shield, providing cover from banshees. Great care was taken to preserve old tricks and jump spots too, so you can hop in and quickly coax out those old muscle memories. Halo the Master Chief Collection is Halo. I can think of no better way to describe it. Preserving and yet contributing to the magic of one of the most beloved and successful game series of all time cannot be easy. From what we've seen, 343 nailed it. There's a sentiment that Halo is too old-timey to hang with modern shooters, that its floaty, slow combat is outclassed by today's fastest games. But there will always be a place for great shooters with immersive worlds and respect for storytelling. There will always be a place for games like Halo. All month long, IGN First is taking a deep dive into Halo the Master Chief Collection. Stay tuned for more map reveals, interviews, previews, and more.